Good evening, Year 9, to you and your families. I am Miss Vaisey, Head of Maths here at the Academy, and I'm going to talk to you about the Key Stage 4 curriculum for Maths. So I'm going to start with some FAQs. These are the kind of questions that we get every single year, so I thought it was easiest to start off with them. Is Maths an option? No. Maths is compulsory for everybody up until you leave us at the end of Year 11, when hopefully you've got a Maths GCSE. How many lessons are you going to have a week? You're going to have 5. So you're going to have 5 core hours of maths learning every week. What are you going to study? Maths is split into 5 key areas, and they are number, algebra, ratio, proportion and rates of change, statistics and probability, geometry and measures. That last one used to be called shape and space. How are you going to be assessed? So unfortunately, there's no coursework for maths. You're going to sit 3 90-minute papers at the end of Year 11. So in summer, when all of your exams are, you're going to sit 3 papers at an hour and a half long, and they are 80 marks per paper. That roughly works out at about a mark a minute, with an extra 10 minutes at the end to check over all of your answers. The first one that you sit is non-calculator, and then the following 2 you can use a calculator for. So 2/3 of your mathematical education in Key Stage 4, you will be able to use a calculator for. Mental methods are obviously needed as well, but you will be able to use a calculator. So maths is tiered, so that means you're going to sit either the higher tier or the foundation tier. So the higher tier is graded from 9 to 3. And the foundation tier is graded from 5 to 1. Now, if you don't achieve a 3 at higher or a 1 at foundation, then unfortunately that means that you will get a U grade. Now, your tier of entry, so whether you study foundation or higher, is not actually decided until the end of Year 10 at the earliest. This can actually change up until a month, couple of months before you actually sit those summer exams. So during Key Stage 3, we've taught you all of the core knowledge, all of those key skills, that basic mathematical content needed to be able to do Key Stage 4 maths. So if you want to achieve the higher grades, you've got to work hard. Now, this image is so important. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So I don't want you to be thinking, I'm no good at maths naturally. I have to work really hard. I'm not going to be able to sit higher tier. Yeah, you will if you work hard and you put that work in. So the course content then, as I've already said, it's split into those 5 areas. But each area has a different proportion of the syllabus, and it also depends on whether you do foundation or higher. So you're going to sit the Edexcel specification. So you're going to do the Edexcel exam board qualification. So on the foundation paper, the 5 areas are split like so. So as you can see, half of your paper is on number, ratio, proportion and rates of change. That makes up half of your paper. This changes slightly for higher. So you can see there's a bigger emphasis on algebra and the higher tier, and less of an emphasis on number. However, there is a buffer of approximately 3% either way. So there's not going to be exactly 30% of algebra. This can vary slightly. So the assessment objectives, there's 3 of them, and they are split into AO1, which is about standard techniques. And that means basic questions testing your knowledge of each topic, normally 1 or 2 marks, and 50% of the foundation paper are AO1 questions. Then we move on to AO2, and that's about reasoning, interpreting and communicating. So as you can see, a further 25% of foundation is AO2 and 30% is higher. That means deciding what method you need to use to get the correct solution to a problem. And AO3 is about solving problems with a greater focus on non-routine problems. So they're the ones that might have more than one method. It means deciding how and explaining why. They are the questions that say give reasons for your answer. Moving on to careers then, ultimately, most college and apprenticeship providers ask for a pass in maths. Now, a pass means different things depending on what course or what route you're going to take. However, a grade 4 is a basic pass and a grade 5 is a strong pass. Now, when you decide what it is that you want to do when you leave us at the end of year 11 and you start looking at courses, A-levels, apprenticeships, BTECs, whatever it is that you're choosing to do, you can look at entry requirements and that will tell you the exact grade that you need in maths. Because some courses ask for specific grades of a 6 or even a 7. So if you want to continue with maths after year 11, or if you want to do physics at A-level or medicine, some engineering courses, you will need a greater understanding of those basic areas of maths. You need to be able to use calculation problems. So that means the 4 operations, so adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, working with fractions, decimals, percentages, and obviously working with money. We all want to get paid. Now, certain jobs require a greater understanding of maths, a greater proportion of mathematical knowledge. The obvious ones are a maths teacher, or an accountant, or a statistician, or anybody working with numbers. However, there are many more jobs that do need an extra little bit of maths to be able to perform well in them. So these are including, but not limited to, hairdressing, so hair and beauty, tattooists, tattoo artists need maths, computing, so any element of programming or web developing or even gaming to an extent, or just working with IT in general, being a personal trainer, anything to do with building, architecture, construction, and also photography. So they're ones that you might not really think about. So the hair and beauty industry use an awful lot of ratio and proportion. Tattoo artists also use ratio and proportion. Personal trainers will use some formula. If you think about how you calculate your BMI, or if you were going on a nutrition plan. Anything to do with construction, you're going to use scale drawings. You might need to be able to use Pythagoras and trigonometry to be able to do those blueprints, those plans. And you also might need to use formula to help you calculate things. Anything in IT, you're going to need algebra. Algebra underpins most of what goes on in computing. And you may also need statistics. And ratio is also involved in photography as well. So you can see ratio and proportion is a biggie. Okay, so thank you for your time. And if you've got any other questions regarding maths at GCSE, please contact me, and there is my email address. On behalf of myself and the rest of the maths department, we look forward to welcoming you on along the way on your Key Stage 4 journey. Thank you. Good night.